Welcome to the No Ceilings podcast, where we help you break barriers and build success with no limits. What's up, Calvin?
What up?
It's you again today.
It's me again. I'm here. Oh my God. Like, I wasn't even ready for this, but I was, so.
It's all good. It's all good. I almost said, what's up, Vincent?
I know. Speaking of Vincent, he will be back next week, just so you guys are not flipping out and saying, where's Vincent at? I know he's probably a little bit prettier to look at than me, but it's all right. You know, we still here. We still gonna give y'all this good information.
Absolutely.
How's your week been going? You've been a little under the weather.
A little under the weather,
Yeah.
just dealing with a few headaches, that kind of thing, but nothing that I can't handle.
Headaches as in like physical headaches, or headaches as in I'm trying to get away from my kids' headaches?
Both.
Okay, fair
Both.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, today was probably the children's headache. Yesterday was the weather keeps changing, and we keep going back and forth with the 30 degrees. Then it's 60 degrees. So I don't want to deal with all of that. Just pick a season and
It's
stick
kind of wild.
to it.
Yeah, because like right now it's crazy. We're recording this and it's still winter time, but so many people, even around the office, Tiffany's been having a lot of allergies, stuff like that because the weather's warming up so much. It's so much so that like every time she sneezes, it's like, a bless you from some random corner in the office comes in, then another sneeze, and I'm like, all right, by the third time you just want attention. So.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody is taking care of themselves out there. The weather is supposed to get warmer before it drops back down and gets cold all over again. And so that means stuff's going to be flying in the air, and your allergies and everything, all the pollen and all that stuff is going to be out floating around. So take care of yourself, mask up, whatever you got to do. Plus, they say the flu is bad too. They've been closing schools.
There's a bunch, like from what I'm understanding, there's a bunch of different strains of both the flu and this respiratory illness that are going around. So like normally where you could kind of catch it, go through the whole horrible few days, but then by the time you come back around, okay, now you built up a little bit of an immunity. You don't think you're going to catch it again. But nah, it's right back knocking on the door. As soon as you get over that, another strain's coming through.
Yep.
And so, speaking of stuff flying away, I walked out this morning and we had some like little peanut snacks or whatever that had kind of gone bad. We forgot that we had them. They're just kind of back of the cupboard type thing. And so I was like, oh, okay, I can throw these out. And I'm thinking, throw these out in the backyard, let the squirrels or whatever, have them. And I'll go out into the back and, we've got that pond in the back and I've been trying to drain it. Well, the rain kind of filled it back up. I had 3 nice looking ducks in my backyard today, and it reminded me of The Sopranos. You ever watch The Sopranos?
A little bit.
Okay, so in the first like season or two or whatever, there was these ducks that Tony always had that would show up in his swimming pool in the backyard, and he kind of got attached to them and all this stuff, right? And so that's what that was the first thought that came into my mind was like, man, I got some ducks in my pond. You know what I mean? Am I Tony Soprano?
I'm Tony Soprano.
And then I'm like, nah, fam, I'm not.
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
I ain't gonna be able to. I'm not cut out for a life of crime. You know what I mean? And people will tell you real quick about whether you cut out for something or not. And that's kind of where we are today with this episode. Is our feedback loop.
Yeah, that's a great segue into that. Wow.
So
today we're going to dive into talking about something that every business needs, which is feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback can be a game changer. It's like having a free business consultant,
Yeah, for real, it is. If you're talking about it, what is a feedback loop? How do you is pretty much how do you handle criticism?
Right.
You need a feedback loop that's going to be a constant barometer of how your business is operating in real time.
Right.
And those can come in a bunch of different ways. Different businesses use different ways to do it. So it's just a fancy way of saying that you take in feedback, you make the improvements, and you keep that cycle going. That's what a feedback loop essentially is.
It's funny. We see how people handle feedback on social media all the time. We talked about this a little bit last week.
Yeah.
But, is it Keith Lee? Keith Lee is the critic.
The food critic guy? Critic. Yeah, I love him.
He came in to the city and he visited a few places and he made a couple of people upset. And,
Yeah.
so that, I mean, the way that you handle receiving feedback from a paying customer is super important.
Especially when nowadays there are so many people on social media that when you just see them in passing, they're just another regular person, but you don't know this person may have 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, millions of followers on social media. And so it really makes, these days a little bit more important to understand what a feedback loop is and how it can shape your business and how to properly use it.
Yeah. So let's talk about, how to collect feedback. Asking customers for reviews is always good. You don't want to be pushy about it, but you can say, "Hey, would you mind leaving a review?" And you don't realize how far that one review goes. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
You also, if you own a store, you could do a survey link, or you could have like a QR code by the register. And I don't know if you've ever been to like the stores that sell the shakes.
Like nutrition shakes and stuff.
Shakes and teas.
We've got one right around the corner here. Yeah.
So they'll have at the counter, they'll have like a QR code, or, you can share your feedback on their social media page. And I think that that's really, really good to have,
I agree. I definitely agree. It's if there's no way for you to do it, in a way that anybody that has not technically sound or technologically sound to be able to do a lot of those things. If you just get onto a Google web browser like Google Chrome or something like that and go to the page of your social media or your website or whatever, there's a way right up there in that little top corner, what they call it, the little hamburger menu or whatever, a little 3 dots. That you can click on that. I think it's maybe a couple of steps, and you can generate your own QR code.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, even if you don't understand how to do it or how those things work, there are some really, really simple, easy tools out there to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And then this next step is social media polls and comments. I've seen a few. I don't see many, but I think that that's a really, really good way. I would use that to test a menu out.
Yeah.
Test, how people like services, because you may need to change a service or pull it off and think of, more innovative way to reach, your customer base. Yeah. So that's really good.
One thing too that I really would like to hit on is you never underestimate the vanity of people. And sometimes as a business owner and looking at a feedback loop, you can really utilize that to your advantage. Some people really just like to see their comments or whatever being posted somewhere online.
Yeah.
And so they will leave, some feedback and some review. But if that doesn't get any type of motion or anything like that, they kind of get a little turned off by it. But these particular type of people, it goes a long way as a business, whether that feedback that they leave you is positive or negative, to just respond.
Yeah.
Respond to them, engage with them, because that is going to go a lot longer with that particular type of person. And the funny part about it is that particular type of person is more than likely the person that's going to be leaving a review.
Yeah.
Most people don't. I'm horrible about it. I don't leave reviews. But if I do leave one, then most likely it's going to be for praise.
Right.
I know I'm kind of an oddball there because most people will tell you about their bad experience before they'll tell you about their good.
Absolutely.
But I will definitely get online and I will praise good service. And so, really take that into mind as a business owner, that some of these people, they do like the interaction, and whether it's a positive or negative review, always address that person. Either say thank you or, hey, give them a way to contact you to say, let us fix your problem. And even the people who see that have never contributed to your business will also look favorably upon you.
And that's crazy that you say that. And this is the last example I'll give, and then we can move on. But I was on a website the other day. I was on a hotel website, and I was going through and I was looking for something completely different, but I saw where they have the option for reviews, and they had responded. I guess, I don't know if it's connected to their Yelp or what, but I could see the reviews, and I could see where the manager was, thank you for providing us with a review. Thank you for providing us with a review. I'm sorry that this was your experience. I'd like to speak with you.
Yes.
And so that's I think that's important. That'll go a long way, because it could have been an oddball day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where
Could have just been some off.
yeah, and there's a way that a lot of people, you can change their minds by just addressing the concern.
Yes, 100%. But then that also comes into now, how do you address that concern? How do you handle those reviews?
Yeah.
And one of the things is, the first rule is, don't argue online.
Don't argue online.
Don't argue online.
Especially not on live.
Especially not online. And I got, I'm gonna shit on something here in just a minute that we just brought up, but let's get through this first.
Okay.
Because we did some research recently on a totally unrelated thing that actually kind of comes into play here. But nothing ever gets deleted from the internet.
Yeah.
Once you type it and you hit send, I don't care if 5 seconds later you hit delete.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere in that short amount of time could have captured it. They could have captured a screenshot. Or if you think that deleting is forever, and I didn't get to caption a screenshot, not giving nobody else no game out here, but you can also go to archive versions of pages. The internet constantly updates and saves every change that's made on a page. And so if you know how to navigate a simple archive search, I can archive search 15, 20 minutes ago, in some cases, and I can pull that as if it was never deleted. So once it's on the internet, once you hit that send button, it's there forever, and somebody determined enough can find it even if you delete it. Don't argue online. It's just going to make you look bad as a business owner. It's going to make you look bad as a person, and it's just going to sit there forever as a testament to how you deal with your customers and when they have a problem with your business.
Let's talk about trolls.
I'm a troll. I ain't gonna lie. I be trolling. I do.
I think that should business owners handle trolls? Because as a professional, you can ignore it.
Yeah.
But as a human being, you got me messed up.
Yeah, and that's the purpose of a troll. They want to get under your skin. They don't care about you as a business. They don't care about what you're putting out as a product. They want to get under whoever's on the other side of this screen typing back to me. I want to get under your skin. I want to get an emotional response from you. And that's how a lot of people operate when it comes to trolling businesses online. How should you respond to that? In the same way that you would politely respond to anything else. The thing about a troll is once they see you're not getting, they're not going to get the interaction from you that they're looking for, they're just going to go find something else to do. They get bored real quick too.
Yeah.
And so you have to know that if you do get any praise, or if you more than likely when it happens, you're getting some negative publicity online, then yeah, they're coming. Be ready for it and understand that you still need to constructively respond to the people that are there. And if somebody is just, you're giving them polite energy and positive energy online and they just keep coming back with negativity, then maybe that's a conversation you don't need to go past one reply on.
Yeah. You got to have tough skin, and you do what you can, but you can only control you.
Yeah.
If they keep doing it, you just got to shut it down and keep it moving, because you got a business to run.
Now, I will say this. When I said I was going to shit on something here real quick. We're talking about, and maybe we didn't even talk about this in pre-production or anything, but we were doing, so recently here, we hired on someone to take care of our, handle our marketing, social media, and things like that for us and a couple of other businesses under our umbrella, as well as potentially clients of ours as well, too, right? And so one of the first things that she did was, get us signed up on Yelp. And we had never been on Yelp before. It was a, pretty common thing you would think businesses do. Well, what she found was, have you ever like put information into, like, for a vehicle, maybe you were thinking about selling or trading in, and you put that information into one of those car sites just to kind of get a value of what that vehicle is going to, what happened right after that?
Kelly Blue Book.
Phone started blowing up.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I didn't think
I
about
mean,
it.
it instantly starts blowing up.
Actually, the one that really resonates with me is every time that I go to the Carnival website and look on Carnival, then Jorge calls me the next
The
day.
little travel agent, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So same thing with Yelp, except for this is their internal marketing and sales, and they're very aggressive. I didn't know that there's a charge per day to have your logo on Yelp.
Didn't know that.
If you don't pay for specific fees or things like that, specific packages, they pretty much tell you, not in a roundabout way, but they pretty much tell you directly that, hey, we're not going to hide negative reviews of your business. Well, wait. Why are you hiding negative reviews of people's businesses?
Why are you hiding the truth? We
Why
need
are
to know
you-
that. We
right.
can't improve if we don't know.
And that's the reason why that came to my mind here, was because if I'm not getting all of the information, how will I ever be able to properly improve?
Right.
And if you're supposed to be a website that is dedicated to helping small businesses specifically to get that feedback from their customers, well, shit.
Yeah.
And then for me as a consumer, because we all play that same part, even if you're a business owner, you're also a consumer.
Absolutely.
And so now I can no longer trust the reviews that I look up on your website about other businesses, because now having the knowledge that you're hiding
Yeah.
now I can't even trust anything you say. And so that, to me, for you as a business, as Yelp, you've completely destroyed all the credibility that I've given you. And that is just a micro example of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You know, and how you deal with this. You will lose credibility if you do this the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you lose credibility, I mean, it's only so long before it's time to start selling off whatever's in the business and closing it up.
Yeah. That's all I like about Glassdoor. Glassdoor, they have they let people write reviews, and they don't delete any reviews. You get the good, the bad, the ugly, and they give you a star, the amount of stars based on what people are saying about your business. And so if you're looking for a job, or you're looking to see what the salaries and stuff or the benefits are like, they have enough reviews that you can see the good, bad, in between, where you want to fall, whatever. Is it a 5-star, is it 3-star, is it 2-star, whatever.
Yeah.
So
now, trying to go ahead on where were we at? I'm sorry.
how to handle online reviews.
There we go. So don't argue online. Always respond politely. Even if someone's mad, a simple "I'm sorry to hear that, let's fix it" will make a huge difference there.
Absolutely.
And then what we're kind of going to get into next here, use your bad reviews as a learning tool. Did someone complain about slow service? Did they complain about the accuracy of their maybe that's something in your business that's a small change that could fix that going forward for everybody.
Yeah.
So please use those bad reviews not as a way to go back on Facebook and look up somebody's profile and talk about their kids and their mama and how they bald headed or none of that. Don't do none of that. Use that internally as a way to get better. Your customers are giving you the roadmap on how to treat them, and you should listen. You should follow.
And I've seen that happen too. I've gone somewhere and had terrible service, and I let them know what I thought. And the next time I came back, they completely changed the way they did things. I mean, tables were dirty. It was taking forever for food, but they needed to. I mean, they were fairly new, and they had to increase their staff and make some efficiency changes, and then everything was good, and you go back.
One of my favorite examples of that is Jack in the Box, the fast food chain. Yeah, Jack in the Crack. Fire ass tacos, man. Oh my God, how many nights I came from the club and got them tacos. But anyway.
You see my face?
But there was a case where a person had ordered their food, and I'm just paraphrasing here, so I may get some of this wrong. Call me out if I do. Where a person had ordered their food, and I believe that this Jack in the Box is one that used to be located by my old job when I lived in Boise. I've been around, and so the person pulled up to the drive-through. They ordered their food. They got up to the window and decided that they also wanted dessert. And so they wanted to add the desserts, at the window while they were paying. And they told them, we can't do that. We don't do that. This, that, and the other. And there's a long line of people behind them. This person's on their lunch break. They're not about to go all the way back around and go through just to, do it again. They're trying to get back. And so they made this big fuss about it right there in the drive-thru, shut shit down, held everybody up, and it got back to corporate. And within a couple of weeks, Jack in the Box, and if you go to a Jack in the Box right now, you will probably see a sticker up on the window when you pull up to get your food that has the advertisement for a dessert or something, some other item that says it's not too late to order. That was a direct case that I saw from a former coworker of mine, and how it made its way through, because it was a big story. This was before we had, this is before we had text messaging, I think. Wow. And so this wasn't something. This went viral in a way that that you used to have to go viral back in the day via news coverage.
Made all that kind of stuff. It made a big deal about everybody.
It. And so and that was one of those things that it really does matter. And there really can be positive changes, company-wide policy changes that come from just listening to customers that work better for everybody.
No, they say the customer is always right.
Only in matters of taste.
Just saying.
I'm not going to tell you that you want to buy that ugly ass hat. I'm going to tell you, I got a different color if you like. But if you want that ugly one,
you can go for that one.
You can go that that's you. That you are always right when it comes.
That's
to
your favorite color? Bet.
Hey, got the whole lime mint green suit to go with it. Cool.
Oh, you just called somebody out.
I'm seeing all the new edition people on your shirt, all these colorful suits and stuff. Got me over here thinking about Steve Harvey and stuff.
And Uncle Charlie on there.
Uncle Charlie Wilson over there. All right.
Well, let's talk about what to avoid when handling negative feedback.
Okay.
One of the big things is ignoring or deleting the feedback, and we just talked about that. Arguing with customers, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Making excuses or blaming others. You don't want to point the blame.
That's my favorite one right there. Accountability.
We receive that. And we, while it is not right, we are truly sorry.
Yeah.
And we are going to work to make that better. As a matter of fact, here is this to compensate for, like, I've gone to one rest. I'm not going to call them out. I was going to say it. Every time I go, they drive me insane. They say that when you get there, pull up in there and bring your order out. And I've pulled up and I've called them, and they say they're going to bring it right out. And then I wait for 20 minutes. And then by the time I get my food, it's freaking cold.
It's cold, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not eating these cold fries. I took them back in there, and the manager's like, I am so sorry, Courtney. And is there anything that I can do to fix it? Yeah. And
that's the way to do it.
I don't want to complain, because I don't. I just want to eat my food. I'm hungry. And he gives me these little vouchers. He's had to do it twice. The second time, he knew my name, because we go in there all the time. A lot of times we go in and sit down. And he knew my name, and he was like, Courtney, I'm sorry.
Yep. That's all. Sometimes it's all it takes.
Yeah.
Or a simple gesture of something that, just makes them feel that whatever time that they may have feel has been wasted of theirs is valued by that business. I had one example, before when I used to eat a lot of fast food and stuff, but one of my favorite places to go get nuggets from was Wendy's. I love Wendy's nuggets, especially them spicy.
I was just going to say, original spicy.
Spicy's all Spicy's day. Good. But they do this thing where it's a little promotion sometimes where I think it's on like Wednesdays or whatever, anything you order, you can get a free 6-piece nugget through their app, right? So I'm feeling good. One day I'm like, I'm going to order a 10-piece and get the free 6-piece, right? But when I pulled up, I'm waiting there, I'll pull up because I ordered it to pick up through the drive-thru. So I already ordered it online before I got there. And then when they told me, oh, well, you got the online order, can you just pull up a little bit? So I pull up, and I'm watching in my rear view, 1 car, 2 car, 3 car, 4 car.
I know you lying.
5 car. And I'm like, so how was it that you had? I know all them people wasn't online orders. I guarantee you, some of them people just pulled up and ordered food right then and there, and you made it right then and there. And so why are they getting their food faster than what you just got? Dropped the nuggets in the oil.
They said they got burgers.
And so what the manager did was she came out and she first apologized. She said, I'm so sorry. We made your order. And then somebody sent out one of the nuggets wrong with another order. And then we made it again. And this time they made regular nuggets and they didn't make spicy. So then we had to drop it again. And so she was like, so I'm sorry that we wasted, so much of your time. And then she said, in the bag, there's 2 coupons for free value.
Yes. Yeah, that's what's up.
I can't complain at that point.
Because I'm coming back.
I'm still getting hot nuggets. And now the next 2 times I come back, I don't have to pay for nothing.
Yep.
I'm cool on that.
I'm going to be back.
But if you just came out there and you handed me my bag and just turn around and walk back inside.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm still not going to stop going to Wendy's and getting them nuggets. I'm just not coming to your Wendy's anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to find a different Wendy's.
Yeah, I'll go to Wendy's on my way to work or that's closer to the job or whatever the case. I just won't come to yours anymore.
Yeah, I've done that. I've gone out of the way to prove a point.
So,
yeah. And then going back and forth publicly is like on social media is like a reality TV reunion. I'm going to take it. Jocelyn Hernandez TV show. Have y'all seen that?
I try not to. But
Jocelyn's Cabaret.
I'll be on Twitter so much that I can't escape the clips.
Yeah.
I'll be blocking the accounts too. Like, I don't want to see no more from you.
And
but I can't escape none of that.
And if you have actually seen somebody go back and forth, a business owner go back and forth, I've watched them before, and it is really just sad.
Even if they're correct.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see you doing that. I want to see you holding yourself to a professional standard.
Correct. Because here's the thing, I seen one, how am I going to tackle this? I seen one where a lady ordered food and she had an allergy and to certain type of food. Okay. And then they had oil. That they cooked that food in, that they had cooked other food in. And so, if you have an allergy to something, that could trigger that allergy.
100%.
And so, going back and forth with the customer online about it, everybody's looking at you like, well, did you really do that? Because if you really did that, then I don't want it either.
Yeah.
So you're
and I don't even have the allergy.
Yeah. But I feel bad for her because you don't know how much of that, food would trigger that allergy and what the consequence is to that. Does she have an EpiPen? Does she not? You know, that kind of thing. You don't want to take that chance, especially if you're working in the food business. And so for me, just that alone stopped me from going to that. Well, I won't say that alone. That was one of the many things that stopped me from going to this particular place, which is no longer open.
Because of the back and forth.
Because of the back and forth. It was ugly. And, I don't like to see women going back and forth like that. It's unnecessary. It's uncalled for. It's unprofessional.
Because then it always gets to a point that's completely out of touch with whatever the issue is. Now we talking about your mama. Now we talking about your hair. Now we talking about your kids.
And why we even had to go there?
You didn't even had to go there.
I was waiting on my hair appointment. So why you even have to go there? Yeah, I know it's bad today. But, it's just
I ain't gonna lie though. Like, I don't be sitting in them comment section just eating popcorn. Like.
And that's what everybody is doing because now they've gotten an opportunity to look at free drama.
Yep.
That doesn't involve them.
Yep.
And they don't even have to pick a side.
That's why I be on Twitter Spaces too much. I say I need to stop.
Yeah, you got an addiction.
Man, it is like a live action soap opera, and some people have gotten so creative with it that they're now developing characters and storylines. Oh. So you be thinking it do kind of be the real them a little bit, and you can tell they kind of aired out some grievances with each other. Yeah. But there be like plots to it now, so it's like really like a soap opera on some Spaces.
That sounds fun.
Oh no, yeah, it's no. I'm gonna shoot you a couple when we get done.
Okay, I want to see that.
So, most importantly out of this, you want to use that feedback to improve.
Yeah.
Look for patterns. If multiple people are saying something is off, It's probably true.
Yeah.
And even if it's just one person saying something is off, like the example that you just gave, that one person, that one thing that's off could be very affecting to them. And so you need to also give those things credence as well. How can you improve certain policies, or just, switch up the way you do things, or maybe who's doing it, at what time? And those little things can be avoided. And, going into the next point there, you want to ask your employees for that feedback too.
Yeah.
They see things that you don't see as a business owner.
Yeah.
You are typically, let's stay in the example of fast food. Most of the times the owner is going to be in there a few hours a week.
Yes.
They're going to mostly be handling things in the back office, paperwork, payroll, these types of things. They can sit in their business for 6 hours and never see a customer, never see a process, never see anything like that, just because they've done it before or they set it up. But in that same example there, those employees are seeing everything that's happening on the front lines. They're seeing everything that's happening day to day. They have the complaints, they have the praises, they get all of these things from the customers, and then they have to relay those to you in a way that is going to, I guess, not put them in the boss's crosshairs, right? You don't want to be the guy that's always bringing bad news, because it's just as easy for you to just get rid of the guy bringing bad news. Don't do that as a business owner. Listen to the person that's bringing bad news, because they're the people who are seeing it.
Yeah, because you can take stuff up the chain, and if nobody up the chain is hearing it or doing anything about it, then it just frustrates everybody. It goes back down as a frustration. And I've been in the middle of that in some sense. You know what I'm saying? It sucks to be a middle manager, because you take concerns up, and then nothing ever happens with it, and they think that you didn't do anything. And that's not the case. You take it up, but I mean, your word means nothing to the people at the top either. So
because oftentimes, and I'm getting on a little soapbox, but oftentimes your middle manager came from the lower ranks.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so they're always going to have an allegiance to those people on the ground who are getting things up, and they're always going to have it in their head that the people at the top don't listen to them. So one thing also that you need to do to make sure this feedback loop works in your business is make sure that you are empowering people with the proper amount of authority, or at least giving them a comfortability factor that they can come in and talk to you. If you're going to be the general manager, the owner, the assistant manager, whatever, don't perform on a day-to-day basis in a way that makes your employees not want to come to you with information. Because them not wanting to talk to you, or not wanting to have to deal with an attitude or something like that, can make you as the business owner miss out on valuable information from those employees.
And I would also say, as you begin to grow your business, be a part of that. If you can be a part of the hiring process, be a part of that. Why? Because you get the opportunity to get to know the people that you're hiring on a face-to-face, one-on-one basis. You stay involved with them so that they do feel comfortable, because too many times I find that people think that you're not approachable because I can't do that, because at my last job, they may be bringing trauma from their last job, and they couldn't do it there, so now they can't do it here, or there was a protocol that had to be followed, and you can't just go to the top boss. But you should put yourself in a position to be able to say, hey, I want to be able to talk to you guys, and you guys talk to me when you need to. If you need anything, I'm here, whatever. So
now, one little caveat before we move on to our last couple sections here. I do want to say specifically to, we talked a little bit about, or you brought the example of Jocelyn's Cabaret and that. I want to stay in that vein just a little bit, and I don't want nobody to get offended here. But I got to tell you, minorities and women, we tend to have a chip on our shoulder sometimes. And we carry that chip around our shoulder. And in some spaces, that chip to other people looks like a fucking boulder. And nobody wants to deal with it. You have to, whether you are an owner, whether you are a manager, whether you're an employee, if you are a minority, a woman in the space of mixed company, I know it's hard. Sometimes it is very hard to not want to bring your problems to work with you, to not want to bring an attitude that is not conducive to a positive work environment with you. And then on top of that, you don't want nobody to tell you that that's what you're doing. And the reason I'm saying that is I'm not calling nobody else out. I'm telling you who I used to be.
Yeah.
I used to be that person with an attitude. I used to be that person with that wasn't able to accept constructive criticism. Yeah. I've completely changed that because I realized that it lost me a lot of opportunities. Yeah. And in the business world, sometimes businesses are sink or swim on a single opportunity. Especially when you're trying to get a business started. Mm-hmm. And so you could put in years and years of work, sweat, money, and all of these different things that one transaction or one wrong thing that blows up on the internet and is completely out of your control can completely sink the ship. So we have to make sure that we check some of our biased behaviors at the door and understand that, hey, when it's like football players say, we can be fun, we can be friends and all that stuff, go to the club and have dinner at each other's house, outside of this game.
But when we get on that field,
when you're on this gridiron, everybody's showing up here to do a job, and we have to work together as a team to get it done.
Yeah. And we can also say that's also a great point to give young people.
Yes.
Because they are in the social media age, and I noticed that a lot of them their intention is not to be rude or disrespectful, but a lot of times the way that they respond to things it comes off to someone else as that. It can be seen as that. And so we don't have a lot of what do they call it? Courtesy classes, or am I saying that right?
No, you like couth and decorum classes. Yeah.
We don't have a lot of that stuff anymore, and I think that it's important for them to know that so that they don't be taken, they're not taken that way, because a lot of young people are skipping college now and they're wanting to start businesses.
You might be on to something right there, because I did take so you remember when I used to go down to Langston for the summer classes? One of those years, I believe it was like the second year we were there, we did it was like a week long, 1 hour every day course on couth and decorum. Yeah. Where we learned everything, etiquette, we learned everything about how to deal with, just general conversation, to how to learn how to properly sit down at a formal dinner and eat, what the different forks were, don't put your elbows on the table, all that kind of stuff. But the problem with that is a lot of those classes, even back then, are based on an old world view, and a lot of them are from white British society that are passed over to Americans, right? And so what you're essentially doing is trying to train people on the old course material on how to behave around royal people, right? Well, this ain't that.
Right.
But we do live in a society. And a society, if you're going to live in a society, there are certain common rules that we all have to abide by in order for this thing to work. Yep. And I think that there is a space there for a lot of this younger generation who has now come up in a world that they don't know a world without social media. Right. They don't know a world without smartphones. And so they're generally more detached from society.
And they sat in a pandemic for 2 years.
And they sat in a pandemic for years, which further stunted their social skills. And so I think maybe a new age, new wave type of situation, teaching young kids the manners that matter today.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
And I say this because I have children of my own that the headache from today. So yes, absolutely.
Well, speaking of which, you ready to move on to successes and failures?
Yeah, I hope we have some today.
So we have a couple of stories, a couple of examples that you've given us here. The first one is a little bit of a callback to what we kind of talked about last week when we were talking about how to improve the overall morale of your business with your employees and partners and such. So there was this cafe owner getting bad reviews for slow service. Instead of ignoring it, they got organized, they trained their staff better, and boom, better service.
Yep.
Happier customers and positive reviews started rolling in. So I just kind of do harken back to that example that we gave last week of making an environment conducive, or a work environment conducive for positive reinforcement, positive attitudes by your staff, which then turn into positive customer interactions, positive reviews, and all these other things.
You know what it reminds me of? Bar Rescue. Have you ever watched?
Oh, I love that show. John Tapper is my spirit animal. I love that.
They go in and, you know, they undo everything and then they put it back together. And I think that's kind of what you have to, essentially that's what you have to do yourself instead of somebody else coming in and doing it. If you're doing that constantly, then, you know, you don't have to unravel everything unless there's like some kind of drama.
What it looks like to me in real time, because you've used this example quite a few times on this podcast. It's a real life, real time SWOT analysis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's what he does. He identifies your strengths, he identifies your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats.
Yep.
All in that Bar Rescue. So if you guys want to see what a SWOT analysis looks like being physically acted out in real time, check out a couple of episodes of that show.
Yeah, good show. All right. Well, we have the failure story, and the failure alert is a boutique got complaints about rude staff. Instead of fixing the issue, they deleted the bad reviews and argued with customers online. You already know how that ended, right? Bad reputation. They lost business, and it was a social media nightmare. I mean, you know, y'all have seen this online, and it's funny because we should like do like a compilation video of like all of the bad reviews.
So you put more work on my plate, but I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea because I think that we could really speak to how people are putting themselves in bad situations when they do stuff. When you give in to what people want you to do, don't come unhinged. Don't come out of character.
Facts.
Just fix it. It's not personal. It's business.
It's business.
And handle your business.
They say there's a Jay-Z bar for everything. You know I'm a Jay-Z fan. There's a Jay-Z bar for everything. And I think he used this old parable in one of his songs where he said, I think I'm using that word correctly. I don't know. But he said, a wise man told me don't argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell who is who.
Hey, yeah.
If both of y'all just sitting there arguing online, both of y'all are the jesters of the moment. It don't 100%. Matter who's right. It don't matter who's wrong. It don't matter what it is. If you allow yourself to get drugged down in the mud, don't be surprised when you flopping around with pigs.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
So that's a couple of great examples there. Want to move on to some action items?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and take them away. Take us home, Courtney. Take us home.
All right. So our action items, what can we do right now? Let's have open communication. You want to make it easy for customers to share your feedback. You want to monitor the social media. So you want to know what people are saying.
Yep.
Respond to feedback, both good and bad.
Positively respond.
Positively respond, good and bad. I'll say that a few times. It's like a loop. You see what I did there?
I see what you did there. All right.
Use feedback to improve. Don't take it personally. Take it seriously. You know, this may make or break your business. That one person that may have complained could bring tons of people in later if you are willing to correct that issue.
Facts.
And then the last thing is set up purchase surveys and offer small initiatives for people's feedback. I think that's really important.
I love that because, you know, I mean, I'm not ashamed about it. You know, I love my cannabis. And one of the things that I really love that a lot of places do is, you know, you leave us a review. Next time you come back, you know, we got a house joint for you or whatever that we'll sell you for a penny or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's because you can't do free, but you can do for, I guess, a penny or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe I'm confusing here in Oregon.
No, they do that.
Same thing?
Yeah,
okay.
They do that.
All right. But yeah, like offer your people something for you don't want to make it completely transactional.
Yeah.
Right? And some people will. It's unavoidable for them, right? Some people will seek out, you know, a place to go do reviews to get free stuff. Yeah. It's a good come up, I ain't gonna lie. But let them know that you're doing this as a token for their honest feedback. You know what I mean? You won't get any use out of a feedback loop if you're only incentivizing customers to leave you good reviews. I don't want to. I don't want to look at a website. If me as a consumer, I want to look at a website and see that you've only got 80 reviews and 79 of them are 5-star.
Yeah.
Because I know in the real world, in
That's
reality, you mean to tell me you did 80 transactions with people and all of them are 5-star?
Yeah.
That's not giving you any good information. Yeah, it makes you look good online.
Yeah.
And it may serve that purpose for you as a business owner online to make you, look good. Oh, we got 5-star reviews. But we know in reality that you can't please everybody.
Right.
And so you're going to make some mistakes. Allow those mistakes to get back to you so you can fix them.
Absolutely.
That's it.
I agree.
So going forward, before we go, here's your challenge. So you find one way to collect feedback this week, whether it's a quick customer survey, a social media post, or just asking a friend for their honest opinion on your business. That's going to help you. If you take that information to heart, it's going to help you a lot easier, or make things a lot easier for you to improve your business. If you have any questions about the information provided here today, please go to turtlesmith.com for more information. And don't forget, subscribe, leave us a review. You see what I did there? And share this episode with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep pushing, keep growing, and remember, there are no ceilings to what you can achieve.
All right.
We got him.
Take care.
Come back, Nancy.